Hello everyone, welcome back to Football Manager 2017 with Newcastle United, and today we are taking on AS Monaco in the second leg of the Champions League last 16. We won 4-2 in Monaco, so I'm hoping we'll get through this match quite comfortably. We're on a 7-game winning streak at the moment, which includes matches against Monaco, Southampton, Spurs and Chelsea, and we should be able to pick up another win today. Then we have Watford at the weekend in the FA Cup quarter-final before we focus our attentions back on the league, where we're 4 points clear of 4th place and starting to look up the table. For this match I am resting quite a few people. I want to focus on that FA Cup game. If we are in trouble, we've got the likes of Simonsen and Origi and Kovacic on the bench. But we're going to have Correa, Gomez and Sane leading the line, with Rabiot, Slattery and Cook in midfield. Then Rahman, Lucas, Chambers and Pinheiro making up the back four. Ketchel continues in goal. And I do just want to point out, he's a bit of an unsung hero at the moment. He got a lot of stick a while ago when we sold Murray, but he is starting to come into his own. It's important to remember he's only 20 years old and he's already England's #1 keeper. He's got 7 caps to his name and he's got the potential to really develop. So I'm very happy with his performances. Not looking to bring in a new keeper now. I would like a better backup goalkeeper because Steve Plant's a bit crap. But we've got time to sort that out in the summer. Right now we need to focus on getting into the Champions League quarterfinals. Pinheiro plays it forward. Slattery finds Cook. Now Rabiot over the top looking for Sane. Sidibe clears it, but Rabiot puts it through again, and Sane this time has got to it, and Z Gomez is there. Blanco could only touch it into the path of Gomez, who volleyed it in to give us that extra goal. Martinez sends it across the box to Dupont. Now D'Alessandro chips it to the back post. Pinheiro's headed it across goal, but Ketchel can catch that easily. D'Alessandro finds Dupont, passing it around midfield. Now Sidibe to Asensio. He can maybe get the cross in. He does. Martinez is in there. It's hit the underside of the bar. He sends it back and it is just about cleared away. Z Gomez to Sane. He's running inside. They've not got a lot of support and he's lost possession, and Andone has been played in behind off that, and Ketchel's there with another good stop. Pinheiro on the right flank chips the ball in. It's cleared away, but only as far as Rabiot hits the post. Pinheiro charging down the right flank. He's going to whip it across as well, and there's Sane unmarked in the 6-yard area to make it 2-0. And Monaco need 4 goals just to force extra time. Free kick for Monaco. Slattery heads it away, but Heredia is still there. He sends it back to Bon Giovanni. Inside to Nastasic of all people. Sidibe, D'Alessandro just can't quite create an opening, but they have done now, and Andone touches it in for 2-1. There is the full-time whistle. It's another win. We've now won 8 in a row. Very good stuff. It also means we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Now, Champions League record, bearing in mind we're in a group with Real Madrid and Juventus, is now 1-7, drawn 1, lost 0. And we are in a really good position to actually progress this time round. The FA Cup quarter-final is here, and we've got a very strong team going out there, a very fresh team as well. Simonsen is back leading the line with Origi and Sane alongside him. Rabiot, Kovacic and Cook, the first choice middle three, still in there. Steele is having to come in for Rahman, who I think is suspended, and then it's Lucas, Almanza and Chambers across the back, with Ketchel still in goal. Kovacic with the corner in towards Simonsen. It's cleared away. Origi will get there though. He swings the ball in, and Simonsen is there to touch it in at the near post, and he's on 18 now this season. Corner for Watford. Kovacic will be able to bring that away quite easily. Plays it into Origi. He's got Simonsen up there with him. Still going Origi. He's looking to go on his own. Beats one player and then loses the ball. But they've given it straight back to us. And now Kovacic into Rabiot. Through for Origi, plays it in, and Simonsen has hit the crossbar. Kovacic to Sane. He sends it into Simonsen. That's a great ball in for Chambers, who crosses it for Origi to touch home from about 2 yards out. We are returning to Wembley after too long an absence. We're into the FA Cup semi-final following a 9th straight victory in all competitions, and that really inconsistent form seems to be a long way behind us now. Our first league game of the episode is away at the Britannia Stadium. I'm going to refuse to call it the Bet365 Stadium on principle. Babarahman is back in our squad. He's playing at left back as he returns from suspension. Lucas, Almanza and Chambers are alongside him. No changes to the front six. Ketchel continues in goal, and I'm hoping we can make it 10 straight wins today. Free kick for Isa. And he's hit the woodwork. That wasn't far away from a lead for Stoke. Texera with a poor header. Kovacic has latched onto it. Now Sane back to Rabiot, who touches it home. I think they thought Simonsen would get that, but there was Rabiot running into the box late to give us a lead. Rabiot skips a tackle, finds Origi, and he absolutely leathers it into the back of the net. Mbula to Sanson. All the way back to Woolshide. Now Mbula. Texera slips it through for Damari Gray, our former player. He pulls it back, and Mbula has hammered that into the top corner. Danny Ings. Ball's come for Mbula. He's lost it to Slattery. Now Cook has played through Simonsen. He's had a quiet game, but he's in on goal now, and he scores. He doesn't need to have a busy game. He will always find the back of the net. Shaqiri, tackled by Cook. Now Simonsen. He sends it through for Correa, who's in. He pulls it back, and it's come for Slattery. A bit of a ricochet. It lands at his feet, and he lashes it in. Well, that's a very good way to win 10 straight matches in all competitions. It's a win that moves us back 4 points clear of Chelsea, which is quite important when we've got a game against Man City left or next, because it gives us a bit of a free hit in that game. Here is the Champions League quarter-final draw, and we could certainly do with an easier draw, but these teams are all quite good. We'll be holding out for Porto or Spurs. We've got a 2 in 7 chance of picking them out of the pot. So let's get straight in there. PSG, we do not want to play. But PSG, we are playing. The luck of the draw is not on our side. We're going to have to take on the team that have won this competition the last 3 years in a row. But if we want to win it, we need to beat the best. And there's no doubt PSG are the best team in Europe at the moment. Just the one change to the team for this match against Man City. We've got such a good run of games going. I don't want to change too much. The only one that has been forced on us is Correa coming in for an injured Divock Origi. He's out for a couple of weeks. A couple of players aren't at their fittest sort of rate, but I don't really know who I'd bring in for Lewis Cook. And the same goes for Lucas. I'm happy with him leading the line with Almanza next to him. I don't really want to put in somebody like Corey Jordan or Thiago Carvalho for a game this big, but they will be available as substitutions, with Pinheiro moving on to the right and Chambers could then tuck into the centre. But we're going to have to rely on our front three getting the goals, particularly Simonsen, to make sure we get the points against Manchester City. Correa finds Simonsen. He tries to pick out Sane, but Stones is there. Now Al Saide. He's lost it to Chambers in a dangerous area. Sane can whip the ball in. Skips a challenge. Finds Rabiot. And that's the lead for us. Adrien Rabiot hammering that in on his left foot. Corner from Kovacic into the near post. It comes back to him, but Dembele has won the ball and there's a counter-attack on for City. But Kovacic gets the ball back. Now Rabiot out to Babarahman. He pulls it back in. He can maybe get the cross in from there. It's rolled away and Dembele can clear. Cook's won the tackle and now Correa slips it into Simonsen. He can put it across goal for Sane, who finally scores. It's been a bit of a dry spell for him, but he gets his 13th of the season. Makes it 2-0. Simonsen with the assist. Babarahman whips the ball in. It's come for Alexander-Arnold. Correa to Simonsen. He delayed his shot. It comes to Scott Orr and Joe Hart tips it round the post. Dele Alli chips the ball over to Dembele. He can pull it back, and it's cleared away. It's Stefanovic, Al-Saade, and it finally gets put in. I think that took about 4 efforts for City to get it in, and it's even an own goal from Almanza. Correa to Lewis Cook. Now Chambers, cross to Almanza. We need to be careful we don't let this lead slip, and Kovacic nearly gives the ball away there. Now it's Alexander-Arnold. He has given the ball away, and Al-Saide can attack. Griezmann switching it over for Dembele, who's been a real nuisance today. He pulls it across and nails Al-Saide, and we have thrown the lead away. I think the tired legs of our players really being a factor here. Free kick from Simonsen into Chambers, who hits the post and can't get to the rebound. Scott Orr, last chance maybe, but he gives it straight to Joe Hart, and that will be the end of the match. Our 10-game winning streak has ended with a draw against Manchester City, but we really should have seen that game out. We were not good enough in that second half, letting Manchester City come back into it. Had we won that game, we would have closed the gap to just 5 points on second place. Instead, we are now just 1 point behind Arsenal, who have 2 games in hand, and Chelsea are also able to close the gap if they win their game in hand. We are now the other side of the March international break, and we're into April with a match against Sunderland. Now, my record against Sunderland as Newcastle manager is about as good as Alan Pardew's. So we could do with stepping that up a bit, and we desperately need a win because Chelsea have closed the gap on us. We're both now on... we've got a game in hand, but they are 1 point clear of us. So if we fail to win this, we will remain in 5th place, which is not where I want to be. So it's a full-strength team going out there after the international break. Some of the players are not at their best, especially Kovacic, but it should still be more than enough to get past them. We've got Rahman, Lucas, Jordan and Chambers across the back 4. Cook, Rabiot and Kovacic in the middle, and then Origi is back from injury with Simonsen and Sane alongside him. Kovacic finds Leroy Sane. He pulls it across to Rabiot. Good ball behind for Origi. He can pull it across. There's Sane arriving to give us a lead. Wilfried Zaha plays the ball out to Malcolm. He switches it in and Asoro is there. Zaha can follow up and Zaha has equalised. Rabiot to Origi. He's got a lot of players around him. Kovacic back to Origi with a bit more space this time. But he's still lost the ball. And now Asoro's been played in. Somehow onside. But Ketchell's there to just stop him getting his second. Pinheiro sends the ball in. It's cleared out, but only as far as Alexander-Arnold. Rabiot has hit the crossbar so close to getting a stunning lead. Sunderland have managed to drag out this game and get a draw. It's really frustrating that we just can't beat Sunderland. Our record is so poor against them. And it means that we're now level on points with Chelsea, but we're 6 goals behind them on goal difference. 3 points behind Arsenal, but they've got 2 games in hand. The final match of this episode is away from home against West Ham. It's quite a big game because Chelsea are playing Leicester at home. I would expect them to win that. West Ham 9 points behind us, but directly behind us in the league table. So it's going to be a little bit tough to get the points today, but after 2 consecutive draws, we really need to get back to winning ways. Origi is in behind straight from kickoff, and he's found Simonsen, who has scored after just 17 seconds. 20 goals he's got since January. Kovacic forward to Origi, tips it behind for Babarama and into Simonsen, who finds the top corner for 2-0. Rabiot out to Scott Orr. He's lost possession to Rodriguez. Now Timo Werner is cutting in from that left flank. He plays it across and Torres has a tap in. Simonsen having a run. He's got a player to his right. Instead he chooses Babarama, who plays it forward to Origi in a lot of space. He pulls it back across. Alexander-Arnold drills it in and surely makes sure we get the 3 points. There is a full-time whistle, a 3-1 victory away against West Ham, keeping that pressure up on Chelsea and temporarily moving us into 4th place. They play after us, but with just 6 games left for us to play in the league this season, we're keeping ourselves in and around the top 4 position. Next episode is going to be quite an interesting one. We've got the PSG quarter-final in the Champions League. We're also taking on Everton and Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final. And we'll finish that episode off with games against Hull and Villa. So that's going to be a really intense run of 4 matches. But we are on a 13-match unbeaten run. as I understand it. It goes even further back than that 16 match unbeaten run if you don't include the penalty shootout defeat. So we're in a very rich vein of form as we continue through, and it's all thanks to Simonsen, who is quickly becoming the hero of this save. So don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see how we get on against PSG at the Parc des Princes. But until next time, see ya!